Gabe Jenkins back with you. I said I wasn't going to do a total walkthrough video. I want to try something new and see how this works for you. See if this is useful for you or not. I'm not sure. I think it will be, but we'll see. We're testing out a bunch of different stuff now. Like all good engineers, sometimes you fail, sometimes you succeed, but when you fail, you learn something. So hopefully, we'll see if this works as a way of helping you kind of understand how I did it. Again, the way I do it is not necessarily like the right way to do it. It's just a way to do it. So this is shape number 3, and this is what I got over here. You can tell I made it stainless steel, ferritic, which means iron-based stainless steel. And I am in, let's see, what units did I say to use? I said to use MMGS, so we're going to use MMGS. All right. I want you to see this. So as you build a shape, it gives you the history of how you built it, step by step by step. Now, one thing you might have already noticed, maybe you haven't noticed it, but you can see if I hover over this blue line down at the bottom, it gives me a little hand. Cool feature of SolidWorks is that if I click here and drag it up, I can show you what my model looked like at every single step of this process, right? So if I go here and put my blue line right underneath that, the first thing I did was I made that little sketch. It's 30 by 90. Let me get this out of the way. My mug out of the way. All right. But that's the first thing I did. And then I took that sketch and I extruded it, right? Next thing I did was I built that little shape on the side, right? I made another sketch. And it was 30 by 36 for me. And then I extruded it, right? Every single step I did, you can account for it. I drew another little shape here. I extrude cut it, as we know how to do already. I extrude cut that through the shape. I don't need to show you every single sketch every single time, but so this is what I did. Every single time I made a new thing, you can see it being built step by step. All of those steps are basically all the same. This one was tricky. This step was tricky. I told you in the preview that getting these little circles, these little filleted corners to be both tangent and here and coincident here was tricky. Let me just show you what I ended up doing, because this was a little tricky. So that was my sketch. So if you want to try to replicate that, feel free to replicate it. But it was a little tricky to get everything lined up. All the dimensions are given in the reference diagrams. It's just kind of tricky to get everything so the relationships are there. So I drew this big sketch and then I made sure that I extruded it back up. I did the same thing. I cut out another hole and then just repeated it one more time on the other side and cut out my last hole, and that's how I did it. So if you look over here, it looks like a lot of steps, and it's a decent number of steps. But it's all pretty logical. It's like I did this part and then I made it and then I extruded it. Then I cut something. Then I made another part, another sketch, extruded it, then I cut it, right? So it's the same, it's an iterative process, meaning it goes step by step by step. And the great thing about this is if I realized I had made a mistake, I could go back into any of these cuts, I could go back into any of the extrudes and just make an adjustment. I could edit the feature and it would change it, would rebuild it for me automatically. I don't have to go back to the very beginning or delete every single thing I did. SolidWorks will do that extra rebuilding work for me. It's a great program. All right, everybody. That's about all you're going to get for the preview, for the walkthrough, and I hope it's enough. Work hard on it. All right, good luck.